Hi everybody and welcome back to the most mediocre podcast on the internet.
How's everybody doing today?
Doing good. How about yourselves?
Doing alright.
I'm really tired.
Yeah, we can tell.
I'm really tired.
You got the Dunkin' again?
Yeah, I live on 4 hours of sleep a night, coffee and a dream.
Do we want to talk about really quick as well what we just did? Or...
No, I don't want to talk about it. Because I'm bitter about it.
That's cool. I'm going to talk about it anyway.
So, Walmart. What about it, Jackson? Give us the rundown on Walmart
So
today.
basically, I know some people that work at Walmart, and I constantly check Brickseeker, and for those of you who don't know, it's basically just the Walmart inventory checker. Yakface has the SKU numbers up on his page to find the latest wave of figures coming out that has Tech, Cusker Reeves, Orasing, the droid from Mandalorian, and Lando. But then, when I was talking to my buddy about it, the machines that they use are called cap scanners because we used to work at Walmart. And so when you scan an item, you're able to scroll down and see when there's stuff in the back, where it is in the back, or where it's gonna come. And I had my buddy scan it for me last night, and it said that they were getting it in, they got the shipment in, and then his buddy was all like, "Oh, just come in tomorrow morning, they'll be there." So we woke up really early to get to Walmart in the morning, and essentially none of the figures were there, and all of the Walmarts in the area don't even have the figures yet because the warehouse hasn't shipped them out to the general stores. Only one of the 4 Walmarts that are in the closest proximity to us got them. So
Walmart sucks again, basically is what we're saying.
If I've learned anything, it's that Jackson is the most unreliable source of
what do you mean?
Walmart Black Series information.
Bro, literally, what do you mean? It said on the scanner that it was coming in, but we found out today
ladies,
that
let's not bicker. Let's not bicker on the podcast.
I'm not even gonna get started with you.
So, the way that we're referring to, if you don't know, is the one with Tech in it, and as big Bad Batch fans, all of us are, we really wanted to get that figure to have it on the show for today, but alas, no. So,
It's okay,
we'll
it
to
happens.
we'll have to make do. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Right. You take some L's.
Maybe next week.
Right. And speaking of the Bad Batch, the newest episode came out yesterday. Woo!
And I wasn't expecting that storyline
At all. The Bad Batch was in it
No.
for 5 minutes.
I felt like I was watching Rebels.
Yeah, but I did not care.
Which, by the way, spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
If you haven't seen
alert.
the newest episode of The Bad Batch, for some reason, please click off this podcast.
No,
because-
just skip ahead.
Just skip it. No.
Just click away. Just unsubscribe and click away.
Hey, wait, no, don't do that.
Do that, bro.
Just go watch the episode. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, it followed the story of Hera Syndulla.
Hera and Chopper,
Mhm.
that made my day.
Well,
Exactly.
yeah, it was so good, dude. I loved it so much. It was
So many familiar faces.
Mm-hmm. And bro, when the that Twi'lek senator got absolutely
Warren
domed.
Freetah.
Yeah,
Not
got,
JFK.
no.
I mean, let's just start right out the gate. The story focused on Hera and Cham Syndulla and their family. And the Bad Batch was only a cameo in that episode.
Yeah.
Which gave me Clone Wars vibes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was fine because it's showing more of the evolution on individual planets of the switch over from the Republic to the Empire, but it's doing so in a way that's it's not all tyrannical yet. It's showing that they're trying to have friendly relations at the start, and because we know that they fight against the Empire in Rebels.
Yes.
We know it's coming.
Mhm.
So seeing Hera's father try to be let's stop fighting for a little bit. Let's try to be friendly. It's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. The big thing that I was talking to you and my dad about yesterday is that I think it's really cool that they're showing us these big important worlds because Ryloth was huge in the Clone Wars because the Separatists wanted it, and it has gigantic Doomium mines, which when you read the Thrawn books you discover that Doomium is the material that they end up using to make Star Destroyers and then the Death Star and a bunch of other equipment. So it's super important to them to get Doomium because then that's the whole reason the Empire's on Lothal and a bunch of other planets. But I like that they focused on Ryloth and then they showed an axis with the Separatists to show
Raxus.
this. What's up?
Raxus.
Raxus, sorry.
There you go.
Got it, bro.
Messed that up. Everyone's gonna hate me now. Fake Star Wars fan. No, but that was really cool too, because then at the same time we only knew what happened in the Republic, and they're like, oh, so here's what happened to the Separatists as well. Because from so many different perspectives, nobody really knows who won the war, because it's like, obviously from the perspective of the Galactic Empire, they succeed and become the Empire, so then they win the war. But I think I was talking to you guys before how in the Thrawn books, at one point, like, Thrawn collects old battle droids because he's fascinated by the Clone Wars, because he never got to experience it, and he wants to understand, like, the big key players in the galaxy. And it's one of the Imperial officers' comments, like, looking at, like, the pieces in that, like, maybe he wants to remember who won the war. So, from different perspectives, a different side won the war. But really, in the end, they all lost, though.
And then, like, 15 minutes later, the new captain of Thrawn ship was like, you need to get rid of that trash! And he was like, no.
I mean, I'd tell you who didn't win the war. Orn Free-Taw. Rest in peace, Orn Free-Taw.
No.
Oh, yeah.
That dude got domed.
I don't think he's gonna... Well, yeah, he's probably dead.
They were not shy about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not care about him being
we
alive.
do not care.
I was happy he died, because that was the other thing as well. Obviously, the episode was hitting home, is that even during the Siege of Ryloth in the Clone Wars, the entire time he's just on Coruscant like, oh my gosh, Ryloth is in danger.
People are starving.
He's like...
All crops burn.
Yeah.
He's giving that whole speech.
Yeah, but then Hera's dad is the dude who's the boots on the ground trying to make the difference for him in the first place. So that's why I feel like that was important.
Yep. So let's talk about the most important aspect of this new episode. Everybody's new favorite Star Wars crush, Captain Howzer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which...
Captain Ballast, actually.
No, we'll talk about that later.
Captain Howzer is...
Commander.
He's captain. It literally...
We don't know what he
Commander.
is.
He is a clone with a really nice haircut and some cool armor.
Yes.
He doesn't have a chip. Just saying right now, no inhibitor chip.
I don't think so
There's
either.
no way
He
this
doesn't.
guy.
Because he has way too much empathy for a clone that's had his chip activated.
You'll
He's
also
the only
notice...
clone that takes off his helmet.
I was just going to say.
Mm-hmm.
He's the only one that we've ever seen in the show that's not the Bad Batch or Rex take their helmet off.
I think they're doing that in a way to show humanity within the clone troopers. Because now the entirety of the Clone Wars really worked to give the clones individuality and to show that they're like individual people, and now that the switch is flipped, they're just all the same.
Also, I watched the episode a second time, and I was taking notes. Rampart knows something is up with this guy. Because when they're in the turbo tank, and the Twi'leks, they like shut off the power, Rampart asks where the reinforcements are, and he like eyes Howzer while Howzer's just kind of standing there, staring. He's like waiting for comms to get cut off, and then says, oh, the comms just got cut off. Like, we have no communications. And then you'll see in the background, Rampart like kind of makes a look at him. He knows. He knows something's up. But he's totally just going to use this to his advantage to talk about how the clones are obsolete and how they need an enlisted army.
Exactly. He questions orders, obviously, with the brainwashed clone troopers, now stormtroopers, you could argue, like, just immediately brainlessly follow orders. Because then he's all like, dude, this is a kid you're taking in. And Rampart's like, I don't care. So, it's interesting.
Which, it was cool to actually see Rampart again, because it makes me feel less like I wasted my money on his action figure.
The one thing that kind of did bug me, though, is the one part where we did see the Bad Batch, they were still running jobs for Sid.
I know, that was my problem. Because they cleared their debt, and I was like, fine, leave. Go to Rex. Go somewhere.
I don't know, I don't really care all that much.
Well, here's my issue, is that this is episode 11, and so guaranteed episode 12 is, the whole episode is going to be Ryloth wrapping it up, and prediction, Hare's mom is gonna die. And then,
yeah, she's dead. She's gone. So is Captain Howzer. He's gone. Let's just
I know,
accept it.
that's
now.
what I'm worried about. Howzer's gonna die, Hare's mom is gonna die, but then that's gonna be the end we see of Ryloth, and then that's gonna be episode 12, and then you only have a few more episodes to set up, hey, we need to go back to Camino, hey, maybe we
I
can
don't
see
think
Rex
that-
again.
I don't think there's enough time to set up, hey, we need to go back to Camino.
I think there might be a second season.
I know,
on the
it seems like there's
I
enough
know.
room for a second season.
Just saying.
If they did a second season, I wouldn't be mad because I feel like they're running out of time and I don't want it to be rushed. I love how it is right now.
If the final episode, well, no, it's going to be one season if the final episode is more than 30 minutes long.
This is
That's
where I'm at. I'm gonna make some predictions.
All right.
There's gonna be a second season of The Bad Batch.
Okay.
This is all confirmed by my source, dudetrustme.com. There's gonna be a second season of The Bad Batch. The first season is going to end with Omega being taken again. Not by Cad Bane, not by Fennec Shand, by someone else. I don't know who yet, because Dude Trust Me didn't tell me yet. Captain Ballast is dead. Captain Ballast, Captain Howzer, whatever.
Commander Howzer.
Lame. Tonwee's dead.
Tommy been dead. You can't resurrect that.
Tanwee's dead.
Not to mention, Kanan and Hera are going to meet in this show.
I think
I'm calling it right now.
I don't think they will.
I think they will. Do they meet? I think what's gonna happen. I think Hera's mom's gonna die, and they're gonna be like, "I need a way to get off world," and somehow Kanan's gonna be there. You're gonna be like, "Hey, I take you off world," and then they're gonna go. Because I
Still
think,
children though.
but that's the thing. I think in Rebels, I don't remember this exactly, but I think there is a part where Kanan does mention the fact that he rescues Hera at some point, and that's how they met.
He rescues everybody though to become a part of the Ghost Crew because then it's Kanan and Hera and Chopper at first, and then they rescue Sabine, and then they rescue Zeb from his situation, and then obviously they find Ezra later. But like, I don't think they can meet because they're still children. Like I don't know how old this young Hera is in the Clone Wars right now, but
She's probably like 12 or 13.
yeah.
Probably.
She's super young still, and especially because she doesn't know how to fly a ship because she's not old yet. I feel like she'll learn how to fly a ship and all that in the next episode because there'll be some reason that she needs to do that. But I feel like she'll take that skill and leave, and then she'll just meet Kanan in the galaxy somewhere.
Can we talk about, real quick, this is completely unrelated, but
Okay.
I don't want to forget about it. Crosshair's head is messed up.
Crispy.
Yes, I saw that in like videos yesterday that like people were posting like the whole side of his head like here.
He's got like holes in his head.
It's
Yeah.
like burnt and scarred and screwed up, dude. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, that thruster really messed him up. Kind of funny because that was his own plan that really did it to him.
I know, right? Overall, though,
Ew, can we get a bald Crosshair
Oh,
Black
we are.
Series figure?
Well,
now?
we are because we're getting the Imperial.
But
Black
he isn't
Series.
bald, he has hair. Bro, look at the product images.
he got the #1 fade,
Do it.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we gotta go.
You're really gonna go to Yak.
Which speak.
Well, is it on Yak Face?
I really wish that
Yes.
every time you tapped on the screen, it didn't make a bumping sound.
Sorry, I'll do it later. Sorry for you audio listeners. For the people at home listening on Spotify, wink wink nudge nudge, we're available on Spotify. I'm going through Yak Face's Twitter trying to find this. Keep talking while I'm trying to find this.
Okay.
Because you're gonna
Well,
go
I'm
quick.
enjoying watching you right now.
Oh.
This is a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
I
If
like
we
your
gotta
face.
talk
Hey,
about
and for the people at home, hey, we got images up on the screen now. Ooh.
Ooh. And we got the better camera that we were talking about and posting during the week.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, you just flashed that Hasbro PulseCon, or what's it called, HasCon?
HasCon.
Coming
Yeah.
this fall.
That's
We
That's
got
something we should talk about
some
really quick.
leaks of some Star Wars Black Series and Vintage Collection.
Guess we're not looking at Crosshair.
figures. Well, you can still look.
No,
I'm just
no.
talking.
No, I don't know where he is.
Just whatever, dude.
Whatever.
So they released 3, or leaked, right? It was a leak. I don't think it was
3
official,
different
right?
items that
No,
are
it
gonna be
was
available.
Hasbro posted them.
3 items. The first one being for the Vintage Collection. It is the Emperor Palpatine on the throne. Very similarly to, I just got in the mail, the Black Series version earlier this week. So I was actually really upset because I woke up from a nap yesterday and Jackson sent me a picture saying, "Uh-oh." I was like, "What?" And I opened the picture and I see Palpatine on the throne. And I'm like, dude, there's no way. I just spent money on the Palpatine Black Series.
Would you like to disclose how much money?
No, because my mom might be listening to this and I don't
Yeah.
want her to get
That's
upset.
fine.
That makes
that's
sense. That
fine.
makes sense.
But yeah, happy for the TVC fans that they're going to get that, because I knew that people were asking for the Emperor on the throne for a while now, because it's been in the red and black box for Black Series for quite some time now. And
A couple years.
yeah, you're right, actually. TVC couldn't get it, so... And it's got the backdrop, which I actually really like.
Yeah, that part's really cool. Yeah,
I
bring up
do
that
think
picture.
that's sick as heck. I don't know if that's like cardboard, though. That's my only...
It's probably going to be like either printed plastic or a plastic rig with a cardboard back.
It's going to be cardboard back.
Yeah.
If
Which, fine by me. That's
still cool.
Super cool.
And then next up on the leak list, we have the Cantina Showdown with Honda Bada, Doctor whatever.
Called it. I knew that these ones were going to be exclusives.
Yeah,
You called it that it was going to be in a 2-pack with the figures.
True. But I also...
it's a 3-pack.
I,
Also, let's all take a moment to appreciate the fact that Ponda Baba's, it's just a head on the ceremony Luke body.
With
we
different...
also appreciate the fact that they also gave him interchangeable squid hands.
I did
Squid
see
hands.
that, yeah, because I was looking at the picture up here for a second. I was like, oh wait, the squid hands are interchangeable.
Because the Aqualish, the species that Ponda Baba is, they do have squid hands. And then sometimes they have human hands. They just decide which ones they want.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be an
It's just like
explanation for it
they're
later,
just
I
like the
guess.
Black Series figures. They're in it. Pop that Joan on.
But yeah, it's literally, you get another figure that we already had, a recycled body with just different head and hands, which, that's honestly okay. I like how the Cantina looks. My only issue with this whole thing is that it's $100.
$105.
Well, I'm not buying it, so that I
I'm
don't
not
care.
buying it.
We're
either.
passing on it too.
Yeah.
But that's just, it's so expensive. And I feel like they're going to do Panababa and Dr. forget his name all the time.
Dr. Evazon.
Dr. Evazon. They're going to do him in the New Hope Galaxy packaging. If they're already going to do Ceremony Leia, and they just did the Power of the Force, so you know they're going to re-release Luke and Han again.
They just did.
They just did in the Power of the Force boxes, but you
Yeah.
know they're going to do it in the Galaxy packaging now, though.
They might.
They might.
Because you have to make the pretty picture line up.
Well,
Or don't.
no, they probably will. They probably will because they did Cad Bane first for the special last year, and then they did the Armorer for the special, and then both of those came out like normally.
I mean, yeah.
So yeah, they're probably gonna come out.
I mean, most, yeah, good point. Like, most HasCon exclusives end up coming out in the main line.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think... I wouldn't care. I know, actually, I should... A lot of people would be very happy if Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazon did come out in the main line.
We're not trying to take dumps on you OT
I'm
fans.
not a hater.
We're not haters.
I just don't care.
just don't care. It's just not our cup of tea.
Yeah.
It's not.
They could also just do Luke, and well, because they just did the Power of the Force, they could justify people buying the Power of the Force if they did Luke and Han in the Stormtrooper outfits again, because they haven't done
Right.
that since Red and Black.
And
ones.
I would buy those in a heartbeat.
Yeah, those are cool.
Those are nice.
And let's talk about the best Star Wars The Black Series action figure release
Yes.
to ever hit the market.
Where is
It's down, Jake.
It is
down.
everybody's favorite character
Yes.
from The Mandalorian. We have Trapper Wolf, aka
Dave Filoni.
Dave Filoni X-Wing pilot action figure. I never saw this one coming.
Neither did I.
I never ever... If you would have told me that this figure was coming out, I would have laughed in your face.
Remember that we were predicting that the deluxe figure was going to be 5s, or it was going to be Jesse, or like something elaborate for the Clone Wars for this con. Just because we were like, you have Echo done, you have the molds, it would be awesome because Clone Wars just ended and you got the Bad Batch out right now to do that. But I am perfectly fine with Dave Filoni. That is a must-have in my opinion.
It's such a cool figure, and it's so funny.
My father was saying that he's going to be signing a lot of action figures.
Yes.
100%.
Dave Filoni's going to be signing a lot.
Yeah.
I just think it's awesome that he has an action figure.
Mhm.
That's hilarious.
And just like the skull looks pretty good for it too.
It looks good. I'm probably going to give him a cowboy hat, honestly.
Give him the Cad Bane hat. That's exactly what I was thinking. What if you just did that?
Slap the Cad Bane hat on.
Or
It's
someone
cool.
on Etsy will make a 3D printable cowboy hat or whatever. For
And as
Dave
the
Filoni.
Hasbro Star Wars designer always says in the live streams. And we made him really look very similar to the entertainment. In the entertainment, he has a face. So we made sure to really pull all the details from the entertainment.
All they literally did was just take the X-Wing pilot body and just pop a different head on it.
Oh,
Which, I
it's,
mean,
it's definitely super easy, and it's like a repaint for the helmet, but I don't care.
And I
get it.
don't
Dave's
really
sculpt looks good.
understand the $30 price point, other than the
it's
packaging.
a deluxe figure.
It's a
Wasn't
deluxe
that
But
what?
why? Why is it a deluxe figure?
Because it's a HasCon exclusive. Wasn't
Yeah.
that what Cad Bane and the Armor were?
Yeah.
Yeah, but those came with extra stuff. Like the Cad Bane came with Toto, and then you had the Armorer come with
Just
all
comes
those
extra
extra
tools.
Well, that's the thing.
tools
What else are you gonna
and
give?
effects.
What else are you gonna give Dave Filoni for accessories? And
A
still,
cowboy
and
hat?
Still make your money.
That is true.
Commander
but
Wolf helmet.
Neither of which are canon in
technically,
in the Star
well,
Wars.
technically his helmet
you
isn't
know, I
canon
can't
because
really
it never had
say.
the wolf pack on it.
Oh yeah, his helmet does have the Wolfpack symbols on it. If I can zoom.
But
in
that's
on
cool. I'm not complaining. I really like that, and I love they put it on the figure because
Mhm.
it's perfect for Dave. Loving the wolf pack.
But yeah, I'm really excited. That's out of those releases for HasCon. That's going to be the one that I pick
Mhm.
up.
that. And thank you to Yakface for providing the images of today's episode.
Yakface, the sole source of any reliable action figure news.
Yeah,
Facts.
if you want Star Wars.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Indeed.
And every so often he posts Transformers things, and we all get confused for a second.
So, in other news for the Black Series, I'm so disappointed with Hasbro Pulse. It's just
Why?
like I'm just so exhausted.
Mm.
I'm sure that a lot of people that collect Black Series do this as well. I'm a Pulse Premium member,
Oh.
so it's a $50 subscription for a year. Okay, and the perks of it are supposed to be that you get free shipping on every order, and then you also get you're supposed to get early access to specific drops.
Supposed to.
Okay. I bought it back in March, maybe even earlier than that,
Mhm.
and I have yet to get any kind of perks out of it because Hasbro Pulse waits so long to ship their figures. So, like, let's talk about, like, for example, I pre-ordered the Carner Jax figure.
Yeah.
Like, Jackson's got the Jackson Rabbit. Get it?
So we'll show off later with the other figures.
Yeah,
more.
Jackson's got the Jackson Rabbit figure right there. That same wave had Carner Jackson. That was the one that I picked up from the wave, you know? And I was really excited for it. And all the regular retailers that were carrying it, and like all the fan channels and all that, got it a couple months ago probably, like May, or like early June. And mine was supposed to ship from Pulse on the 15th of July. Today is what? The 10th? Yeah. It was supposed to ship in 5 days. I got an email the other day that it got pushed back to August 26th. For absolutely no reason at all. They just told me that they had to push back the shipping date. And it makes me really upset because it's like I wait so long for these figures so that I can get my free shipping, just for them to get pushed back months and months and months. And this happens all the time.
See, yeah, I'm not a Pulse Premium member, but my dad is, so he'll use it for a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna use that argument like with this like new wave with tech. I'm so eager to get this new wave with like tech and stuff. I pre-ordered it through Pulse, and as if you've bought figures through Pulse recently as well, the prices went up, and it's about $22 a pop now, plus the shipping if you're not a premium member like me. But at Walmart and Target, they're $17 now. So I'll be darned before I pay $22 with shipping if I can just hunt relentlessly to try to get these in store and pay that lower price. Because I just like now if I can. I mean, I have it guaranteed, so if I can't find them in the store, it's not the end of the world. I'll get it eventually. But that's, yeah, like what Tommy's saying. I'm just sick of all these other markets getting the figures. I'm happy because I bought that, I bought the 501st Trooper with the new Obi-Wan in the Archive Wave. I pre-ordered it through Pulse, but then I bought another 501 Trooper through Dorkside, obviously to see like if the Dorkside one would actually come first. So it might actually just come first, and if it does, we'll be able to have it early to show up in the show, which I'm excited about. Plus, I had to buy two 501st because it's the 501st.
And I also bought one, and then our dad bought two as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got
It's just-
five.
It's just so like
We got
I
a
mean
problem.
we watch like we talk about the Black Series probably every single day like amongst ourselves like I watch tons of channels like you know we interact a lot with Out of the Basement, shout out to them,
Shout out to Adam.
but like they put it in such a good way, and we put it out all the time. I mean, like, it is impossible to be a collector right now. Like, there is just no concern or care for the community that's literally buying your product. Like, they just don't care, and they just...
It's because they can get away with it.
I mean,
because
remember...
they make max profit.
Yeah.
Because the figures sell out, and at the end of the day, they don't care if there was 1,000 customer complaints. Their product sold out at the end of the day, and they made 100% profit, and that's all that they care about.
You sold out the product that hasn't been made yet. I will never understand.
Yeah,
that.
how can you sell out of
How do you sell out of a product that you haven't made yet?
Like the
never
Rex.
gets.
Yeah, like the Bad Batch Rex figure. I was fortunate enough to get 3 of them because I wanted to have one for Jackson's like private collection, one for this collection, and then just one to keep in the box just because I like Rex a lot. But the fact that because I went to do it like immediately when it dropped, and I was unable to get it, but I stayed on the site for about an hour refreshing, and I eventually got it. But I still... How do you run out of a pre-order? A pre-order is so you get a finite number of how many units you should make initially for people that are going to buy it, and then you have more units that you make to send to stores for people that couldn't, like, be there to get pre-orders.
So we'll never see those.
Oh, no, we probably won't. Want to know why? Because they're through Walmart, so...
It's just... I'm exhausted, and, like... Every time another leak comes out, like that was another thing that happened this week, was Yak posted that there were 2 new Black Series listings in Target system, which, I mean, they're more Target exclusives, dude. It's like Target gets exclusives every single month now. Like, and it's always like 2 or more figures. It's never just one figure.
I know.
It's always 2 or more figures, and I looked at the comments under all the posts, and majority of the like, there was not a single positive comment about people excited for a Target exclusive. Every single comment was just people saying, I already quit collecting the Black Series. Or like, that's it, I'm out, I'm not going to get this. Or, you know, people saying, oh, time for another eBay exclusive, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And none of those people are wrong. And it makes me so sad, because to think that, like, there's lots of people leaving the hobby because it's just too difficult to get the figures.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. Blows my mind.
Exactly. It's ridiculous.
So Hasbro, if you're listening, get it together, man. Come on.
We implore you. Like, we want to buy your stuff.
Yes.
We want to buy your products.
We're eager to buy your stuff.
Like, I have probably, I mean, I just, I used Action Figure 411, that website, and I tracked, I put all my collection together on there the other day. And, like, I have about 100 Black Series figures. Like, I want to buy your stuff. Like, please, let me get your products. Make them available, and I will buy them.
Yeah. Please make them available in stores, and that necessarily isn't always Hasbro's fault. Sometimes, like, Walmart's in our area.
The retailers, yeah.
The retailers in our area, like for Walmart, for example, we have one that only prioritizes getting in groceries and then the paper chem stuff, which is like detergents and like paper towels, toilet paper, things like that. That is the only things they prioritize, and like they get like a shipment of toys maybe like once a month.
Yeah.
So that's not always Hasbro fault when you can't get it in store. Sometimes you just gotta go to your local store manager and be like, get some toys in. Come on, you look like a chump. Yeah. So like, that's not always Hasbro's fault, but then again, they still should be making more units to get out to more stores.
Well, that's the other thing, is there's this one YouTube channel that I follow. It's called Spector Creative. I would definitely recommend checking that out. If you wonder about like the retail end of it and why you never see figures on the pegs at like Walmart or Target or other big chains, Spector Creative used to work in the action figure industry for like, I think 10 or 15 years. And so he just lays it out, like the business model. The business model is, in one of his videos, he like talked about it. Say you get a case of 8 figures. The sales goal for the store is to sell 1 item a week. So if they sell all 8 items in the first day, you will not get any more figures until 8 weeks later, because they've technically met their sales goal of 1 unit per week.
True.
So that's it for 8 weeks. You're not getting any more figures for 8 weeks. And it doesn't matter because they're meeting the sales goal. So why would they get more? That's just easier for them because they met their sales goal quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So why should they care, you know?
Well, for me, that doesn't make sense, because then if you meet your sales goal quicker, then why not, I don't know, get more in and make more money?
Because having stuff on the shelf is technically losing money. You know what I mean? Or wasting product.
Yeah, because the sequels ruin that. And this is what I mean by that. Because people disliked the newest 3 movies so much that they didn't want to buy, like, characters that, like, weren't, like, Han Solo or, like, Chewbacca. You know what I mean? That, like, they just had so much excess product. And I feel like that was the point where Hasbro was like, okay, that's why we can't make a ton of stuff. The same thing happened with, well, because of that, then that directly affected the Solo red box line of figures, because that's when Ezra came out, and they made so little of all of those figures, and that's why Ezra was super desirable for that long period of time until they made the Galaxy box of him.
I mean, the other part of it too is they were making so many figures that people didn't want. You know, like, if they would have made more of the characters that people wanted, there. I mean, it was plagued with peg warmers. Like, you know what I mean? When it was like, what, 2016, 2017, every store you walked into, years would go by.
Oh, yeah.
And they would just be the same figures on the pegs everywhere you went. But honestly, I feel like I'd rather have that just so when I go to the store, I can see something on the peg, rather than going to Target or Walmart, and every time I'm there, just nothing.
Yeah, we go to Target and you see Star Wars playing cards, Mission Fleet, and then there's real... I'm gonna take a dump on these lightsabers, I don't care. Whoever thought it was a good idea to make those character lightsabers, the one with like a character head on it, die. I hate those so much. They're so stupid to me. Because I remember, like, when we were kids, we had those ones that was like, they were big and chunky, and they had like the spring-loaded like blade that shot out, and those were so cool. Make those, please. Give kids an actual cool lightsaber, not these goofy-looking ones with like a cartoon Luke Skywalker and the X-Wing helmet head on it. Sorry, I'm done ranting about those, but
I have the Obi-Wan in my room. I'm not gonna grab it though, because I'm not gonna walk in front of the camera. But like,
those lightsabers are so cool. Make those for kids.
It's just so sad. But, you know, I mean, there's nothing that we can really do because we've tried as a community to express to the company. And I remember back when the Walmart wave, the Clone Wars wave from Walmart with Ahsoka and the Mandalorians, they said on a live stream that, like, we hear you guys, we're going to correct this issue, and it seems like they've doubled down on the exclusives.
Yeah, they said, we're going to fix it by undoing everything that you want us to undo.
yeah, it was the Mr. Lasher. Well, it's like what Mr. Lasher said. It's the bureaucratic response. Like when you talk to any person in government, they're like, we hear what we're saying. We understand your concerns. We'll look further into this issue. But they won't.
We'll circle back to you.
Circle back.
No. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Because if you guys could see that Darth Maul lightsaber, that's not like... Most of these lightsabers up here are like the Disney sabers. Like their legacy, whatever they call it.
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. But that one was one I got way back in the day. And it's the whole hilt. It's the same size. And then both blades flick out on both sides. And it's awesome. Make those.
Also, shout out to Mr. Lasher, was our government teacher in high school.
Yeah.
So, shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Check out his book.
Oh, yeah. What is
out-
it called? The Federalist Manifesto?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Very good read.
It's an independent view of issues.
It's a smart read.
Yes.
So, if you're dumb, you
Right.
probably won't get it. Anyway.
I was actually going to say, sorry to kind of touch on like everything we had before. Did I talk? I forget if I mentioned it last time on the last podcast when like I went to Target for the Clone Wars figures. Did I talk about that?
About how they stuff them in the boxes wrong.
No, how there was only the one.
Yeah, I do think we mentioned it.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was just going to say, the other issue as well with all these store exclusives is employees that are working, that might be fans, want to have first pick at these figures, which I understand. If you're like us, and you really want it, like
If I worked at Target, I would do it.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh, yeah,
But we
because I went in for those, I think I said it last time, but I went in for the Clone Wars figures on the day that they're supposed to be in store, and like I stood at the door for an hour with Jacob, and the dude opened the door and like had one Anakin in his hand and handed it to me. He's like, "This is all we have," and I was like, And I ordered an Anakin to be, like, there for, like, pickup as well. And they were literally going to give my Anakin away because I took it and I was holding on to it. And we went back to the toy section, there was nothing. So, it was ridiculous.
You would never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you know, all this stuff aside, you know, I still, it doesn't affect how much I love Star Wars as a whole. And the only reason that I get bothered by it is because of how much I love Star Wars. So,
And we will continue to buy our 6-inch pieces of plastic.
I will continue to buy them and complain.
Yes.
But I will continue to buy them.
Yes.
But, like, the figures that I do get are amazing. And so, like, I brought with me today, earlier this week, I got 2 figures. One came from GameStop. It is the deluxe release of Wrecker from the Bad Batch in 6-inch form. The figure is amazing. I unboxed him, and he's huge. He's even bigger than the heavy infantry Mandalorian, Paz Vizsla. So, like, he's a big figure. His articulation is great. Just everything about him, like, what a well done, like, just awesome 10 out of 10. Like, I would not have any complaints about that figure whatsoever. Everything about him, his accessories, he comes with his big blade, he comes with his blaster, removable helmet, removable backpack, everything I could have ever wanted in a Wrecker figure right there. And then I also picked up, I finally got my hands on, this is a figure I thought I would never get my hands on, the Palpatine with the throne from the Redbox line. This dude is amazing. He comes with interchangeable hands, so he can have lightning shooting out of his fingers or not. He comes with his cane. He comes with 3 interchangeable heads. He's got one that's kind of like a straight face, one that's really happy, and then one that's really angry. I have the happy face on him right now because I like my laughing Palpatine. And he comes with that throne. And everything about that figure is just amazing. Again, I have no complaints. That's the figure that, like, is just such a great centerpiece for, like, a heroes and villains setup.
If
you know?
you guys can't see it, but I'm sorry, I'm messing up.
Ow, 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 ow.
You can't see it, but behind me, behind this big old chair, we do kind of have a heroes and villains setup going on.
Yeah, right.
With Palpatine as the centerpiece. So
Palpatine and Snoke, and then it separates into the
Empire on the lower level, First Order on the higher level, villains in the center.
But seriously, just I love these figures. Again, like Palpatine, I never thought I would get my hands on him. I got a really good deal from a fellow collector, and that was just like, I couldn't be happier. That literally for me completes every older figure that I wanted for my collection, which is kind of relieving because now I can really just focus on new figures that come out. You know. So yeah, I can't be happier. And so I know Jackson's got some pickups as well.
So first thing, Jacob picked that up. We went to GameStop the other day, and they just got the comic line of figures in, but we were too late because all that they had left was Jackson Rabbit. And so we have the other 3 through Pulse. They'll eventually come because Connor Jax got pushed back. But Darth Maul and Luke Skywalker are still scheduled to arrive on time. It's not a bad figure. We were getting it just to complete the comic line because we thought it would be cool. My dad really wanted it too, but like, I don't care for the character because I quite literally have never heard of Jackson Rabbit until Yak posted about these figures coming out. So I was a little bit confused, and isn't he canon because he's in some comics?
He's in like an ongoing comic line. Yeah, that's what the cover of that one is.
Yeah. And speaking of the cover, the artwork on it is fantastic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And then Yak posted that they're making more comic figures.
Another wave into the next year, which could be interesting.
I know.
Which I'm saying, they need to do High Republic, period. You need to make some sort of merchandise for the High Republic besides books in these comics, in my opinion.
I want Avar Kriss. I want Buckets of Blood. I want the Trandoshan Jedi.
I forget what his name is, but I'm reading Light of the Jedi, and his last name's like Great Storm.
Yeah.
He's really cool. I really like him.
Buckets of Blood is my favorite.
Yeah. So this is a super awesome concept. I ordered the Maul for my personal collection, and then I ordered all the main Clone Wars villains, obviously minus Sidious, for my collection. So then I actually just got the Count Dooku figure yesterday. Absolutely phenomenal face sculpt on that one as well. Like, literally looks just like Christopher Lee. It is so good. I didn't want to bring it on the show today just so we wouldn't like oversaturate it with showing off all the new toys and goodies that we got, but
I am very sorry, but I need to step away because my insides are screaming at me right
all right,
now.
you go.
Alright.
We'll keep talking.
So
I
hold
say-
down the fort.
I say we pause the podcast. We'll just edit this out.
No, absolutely not. Just talk without me, and I'll make a grand entrance.
Okay, that's
Makes
whatever.
sense,
We're
makes
gonna
sense.
keep talking about the
I'll be
figures
back.
anyway.
Don't miss me too much. Love and kisses. Approximately 7 minutes.
Oh gosh.
Or less.
You know where the bathroom is. just
Or
go.
more. We don't know yet. But we'll find out.
We'll find out.
I'll be back.
In the meantime, I'm gonna mute your mic.
That's what happens when Tommy drinks coffee. You shouldn't have done that.
And a Cliff Bar.
And oh, that's what did it.
All right.
Cliff Bar's about
Close the gate too. Okay, so the other thing that we were going to go over that we just got, my dad ended up getting it, and we never thought in a million years we would get this, is the Shadow Trooper Scout Bike with the Troopers one. We have it loose, it's not in the box, but could not be happier. We were so ecstatic to get this, especially just because there's a local collector shop near us that had it, and I forget if it was like $100 or something.
It was 150. It was 150.
Okay, it was
so
150, and my dad saw it and he was like, I've never seen it for that price before, like, maybe I'll wait a week and I'll get it. And then as we know, he waited a week, went back in, and it wasn't there. And so he's been trying to hunt for this for a few months now, actually, online. And he was finally able to find it for like just about that price range, just because it's so gosh darn expensive. But I can see why, because it's so freaking cool.
And it's literally, it's just a Scout Trooper and a Sand Trooper, just painted black. But I do not care. It's so cool.
Exactly, because it came out in the blue line, so this is super old compared to like the new Biker Scout Trooper. I'm looking at it over there because we have two of them displayed, and then one for the Mandalorian in the box over there.
Yeah, the Mandalorian one is the newest one. He comes with the child. He was an Amazon exclusive, I believe.
That was super cool because I love the speeder bike, and the bottom that you're seeing for this right here, I didn't realize it, but it's literally the same bottom that they used for these new ones as well.
Yeah, they used the same ball joint stand for all the small vehicle figures, except for the Infus Nest speeder. That one has kind of like a special
And the
stand.
Rays speeder has a different one too,
And-
and the Land speeder.
and-
They all technically do.
Yeah, so if it's a speeder bike from like Endor style speeder bike, it's gonna be the same stand for it, just because it's what's easy. If it ain't
Exactly.
broke, don't fix it.
And it's literally just a Scout Trooper painted black and a Stormtrooper painted all black. But I literally could not be more happy just because it's such a cool figure. Like the Shadow Troopers, like I'm thinking about playing like Force Unleashed and all that, and then just seeing like the artwork of like Shadow like Stormtroopers and all that stuff as well. That was like super cool to me. So like the fact that like we have that like now, I wish that they would do like a Shadow Trooper of some sort now. Technically, you can argue, I guess, that there is the black Stormtrooper from the Force Unleashed in the Game and Grades line that they did for GameStop. That one's cool, and I'll pick it up eventually.
Eventually. But then, if you don't want just the Shadow Trooper figure, don't be scared to pick up the Shadow Trooper helmet as a Battlefront figure. Hey, he's back.
He's back, and it wasn't 7 minutes, and we literally just got done talking about the Shadow Trooper set that my dad got loose.
Sweet.
Oh, hey guys.
Oh,
Oh, hi.
oh hi.
What are you guys doing?
Tom.
Hi, Tom.
What are you doing?
We're recording a podcast.
What's this? A podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What's it about?
About plastic toys and
Is
Space
this-
Wars.
The 1313 Star Wars podcast?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where we talk about Star Wars and then just pretty much end up ranting about action figures every
Yep.
week?
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, I'm getting the Captain Howzer haircut. I decided.
Yeah.
You
grow my hair
Jacob
out.
was thinking,
I'm literally going to do that because I'm going off into. I have to start doing ROTC for college. So because I got some decently long hair, and they said no more hair for you, buddy. So
yeah.
I'm
Army.
going to have. Yeah, Army said
be like-
Army said cut. So
I had really long hair like Jacob, and I had to cut all mine when I went into ROTC because the
half the
AR
size.
70-1 states that like male hair, like when you're walking, like can't bounce around. And so like at first I tied it back in a ponytail because I was like, that's fine, my hair isn't bouncing around. And my squad leader was all like, you need to cut it. And I was literally so upset Like,
I think you look better with short hair, though.
Yeah, you do look better with the short hair.
I don't think you look bad with the longer
Really?
hair, but I think you look better with the short hair.
really?
No, I'm gonna look so goofy when I get my hair cut because I haven't had my hair short since 5th grade.
Let's do the Captain Howzer.
Yeah,
Bro,
that's what
for
I'm gonna
real.
do.
then
That's a dope
I'm literally
cut.
gonna roll up to Joe Lombardo and be like,
And then all of the Star Wars fangirls will
they'll
finally
swoon.
want to talk to me.
Dude, for real. Because that's literally, I was telling them, my whole TikTok is literally just Commander Howzer posts and just how, like, hot he is. Which,
And they're not wrong.
He's
He
a
looks the
cool
same
looking
as
dude.
everybody else. I don't get it.
It's the
He
hair
has a
and the
different haircut.
scar.
And he has a scar, like, on the side of his face, too.
So,
Oh, shut up.
gentlemen, if you want to look nice, if you want to attract someone to you, get a haircut.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to talk like D. Bradley Baker.
Yep.
And put a giant gash in the side of your face.
Mhm.
Here's the facts. Comic-Con isn't going on because they didn't have enough time to plan it, but a lot of places are having your local cons. So you need to get that haircut, work on that voice impression, pull up to the local cons and be like, "Yo, ladies, what's up? I'm Commander Howzer." You gotta. This is your practice game right now for when Comic-Con
This
comes
is so
back.
cringe. So
Yes.
okay, now in other news,
We have
so
to talk about
we have to
this.
talk about this.
I don't
Tommy
want to talk
didn't want
about it.
to.
Because now
Yes,
I'm
we
mad.
do.
Because now I feel like I wasted my money.
You didn't
Pre-ordering
waste your
this 4-pack.
You didn't waste your money on a 4-pack. You got a really cool figure 4-pack, and they just happened to screw up the dude's name.
Okay, so
Again.
here's the backstory. So this 4-pack of Bad Batch figures came out on Amazon a week, 2 weeks ago-ish. Or a
It
little
was
bit longer.
longer than that,
It was
I feel
like-
like.
Pardon me, sorry.
It was a
So
Thursday.
it has Rex, Commander Gray, who we saw in the first episode of the Bad Batch, one of the elite squad troopers, and then on the box it says Captain Ballast for this blue trooper that we
Clone
just saw in the new
Captain Ballast.
However, in the new episode of Bad Batch that came out this week, when he was exchanging with Hera's father and talking about how they found Hera, he was referred to as Commander Howzer. So, completely different name. We don't know what went wrong.
So what if Howzer is an alias and his real name is Captain Ballast because he's secretly working with Rex?
Or, because here's the other thing as well, that could be possible. What if he's talking to Rex, but then what if he actually ends up living? If he lives, then he's demoted in rank like how Rex was, and then he just goes to the name Ballast instead of Howzer.
No, he's dead.
Stop that. Stop that.
Stop.
Because you're making me sound
I have to
dumb.
accept it because I get attached to clone troopers because when I was little, I would watch the Clone Wars and I would get upset when a random clone with no actual nickname would die. If I saw a clone get shot, I was sad.
Mhm.
So I get way too attached to the clone troopers. I need to chill. So I'm just accepting it now. The Bad Batch are all gonna die. Howzer is dead. Everyone is dead. Everyone dies.
You could be,
I am all the Jedi.
you know, because then that's my problem too. You got to think about Dave Filoni making the end of Clone Wars Rebels in the latest season of Mandalorian. He ain't gonna let you be happy.
No, that man he runs on tears. He runs on tears, bro.
Fantastic storyteller. He's like, no, the fans need to cry.
Well, you know, I can't really say. I can't. I don't know. I can't say.
I can't say how
The
much you
famous-
gotta cry.
The famous Dave Filoni line. I can't say. Yeah, dude.
You can tell that man wants to spoil everything so bad. He just wants to be like.
He is so good at getting people to keep things hush hush.
Mm-hmm.
He is very good at it.
You want to tell the audience your personal story about how you think you impacted the way Clone Wars turned out?
So
Yes.
I just want to share how, yes, as a 10-year-old child, I personally changed the story of the Clone Wars. So my father has been a member of the 501st costuming group and charity group for 15, almost 20 years now. He's done many costumes. He normally does clone costumes. His main one is the Episode 3 Phase 2 Commander Bly. That is his main one that he does. But he's also done the Senate Commando Captain J-Fawn from that episode in Season 1 of the Clone Wars that Cad Bane kills.
Yeah, he's off in a second.
He did Phase 1 movie accurate Captain Rex.
To which we have his card right here
Yep.
between the lightsabers.
His 501st trading card from like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
He did a couple other ones too. He is working on a Shore Trooper. He wants to do the Shore Trooper squad leader from Rogue One. And then I feel like I'm missing one. He did another costume I can't think of right now, but I'll remember it at some point.
Okay.
But anyway, so when I was like 10 years old, my dad was getting invited to all these events when the Clone Wars was first coming out. I went to an event with him in Philly for the Clone Wars premiere of the TV show. And then there was another time where my dad was going to an event that Dave Filoni was going to be at. And this was like season 2 of the Clone Wars was coming out. And he told me and my younger sister that if he gets the chance, we can ask Dave Filoni one question. So I told my dad to ask him if there will ever be a Wookiee Jedi in Star Wars The Clone Wars. And so my dad came back from the trip and I said, Dad, did you get to meet Dave Filoni? And my dad said, yes, I did. And I got to talk to him for like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. Did you ask him my question? He said, yes. And here's what he said. And I was like, what did he say? What did he say? And he said, so I asked him your question, and he looked at me, and he said, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. I mean, that would be pretty cool. And then, in what, season 4 or season 5, we got Gunji, which was the Wookiee youngling. They weren't Padawans yet, where they were younglings.
Yeah, they were younglings.
The Wookiee youngling, who I would like to wholeheartedly believe survived Order 66.
Nope, dead.
No.
And
Didn't make it.
and I always just like to think that that happened because I asked that question, even though that's probably not true. But
It's most definitely not true, but you can believe it in your heart.
it's cool in my head to think like I asked that question and then it ended up being something that happened in the show.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Gunji, that's my character.
Yeah. And speaking of run-ins with people that work on Star Wars, how about a co-executive of Visions checking us out on Twitter, checking out the podcast on Twitter?
I feel famous.
That we were at work when we saw that, and you were helping customers. I was just standing there behind you, like trying to tell you. I was like busting at the seams. I was so excited.
Yeah.
We also had the Lucasfilm PR coordinator. Her name was Lillian Sky. Let me look her up.
Here.
Okay.
I got the thing right here.
He has the Twitter pulled up. But
So-
yeah, no, I was at a family event, so like I got the notifications from Twitter.
Lillian
And
Sky Noble at Lillian Sky SKYE _ on Twitter, and then
Yeah.
Justin Leach at DB5007 on Twitter. Go give him a follow.
Mm-hmm.
Check him out.
100%.
Shout out to
Super
them.
cool. That was so cool. That made our day.
Yes.
I was so excited.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I literally was losing my mind.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you haven't checked out on our YouTube channel, we did a little like mini special for after there was a panel for Star Wars Visions at Anime Expo Light this past Saturday. And so
Yes.
we recorded like a little mini episode, so it was like 8 minutes or something. If you want to see that, go check out our YouTube channel at 1313 Podcast. But yeah, the panel was not what I was expecting. I expected like a full trailer or
Yeah.
like a 30-minute sneak peek.
Especially with how quick it's coming out. The turnaround time for this is like what?
September.
September. So it's like you would think that they would have some video to show
I think
us,
the
but it was
specific date that I saw was September 9th was when it started.
Yeah.
But
And-
let me confirm.
And speaking of Visions, they also confirmed the fact that there would be some novels based around those stories
Yes.
as well.
Manga?
Yeah,
They need.
well, they
did
call
the-
it a visual novel.
it's a visual novel. So yeah, they're gonna do manga for Visions as well,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
will be awesome. Whether it's gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be the same story as some of the episodes, or if it's gonna be pertaining to it. Because the one that we did see, I forget what it was called, but it looked like it was pertaining to the first
Mhm.
one that they
first
showed us.
off
The one
in
that was
black
only
and
in
white.
black and white.
It's important to note, none of these stories are considered canon.
Mm-hmm.
These stories are all in the Star Wars universe, but it's a very anime take
Yeah.
Yes.
on Star Wars. So everything, it's basically Star Wars in Japan. That's how I could best describe it.
Mhm.
You know, because everything is still very, very. The only one that I think takes place like on a planet that we know from Star Wars is what's it called? Something Rhapsody.
It's Mos Eisley
Mos
Rhapsody.
Eisley Rhapsody or something. That one takes place on
Tatooine.
and it's chibi style animation.
Yes.
Tatooine.
Back on the sands of Tatooine, I was a chibi style.
But no, that'll be cool. I'm really excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot be more excited for that.
To go back to the Twitter comment really quick, because they were at work and I was with my family doing something, and that the Lucasfilm PR lady who followed us, like, I got the notification on Twitter, and like I just saw like the fan art. I don't know exactly what the profile picture is supposed to be. It's her, obviously probably drawn by herself or somebody else, but I saw that and I was like, oh, that's like a really cool pic. Like, maybe she does like artwork and she followed us. And then I looked at it and then it said Lucasfilm, like PR. I was like,
I didn't like that picture.
I was
Oh, you didn't like that picture? We gotta take another one. For audio listeners, we're taking a selfie. Oh, I'm sorry, I said the word selfie.
This is gonna go on the gram.
It's gonna go on the gram.
Follow
Go
us
on
on
the gram.
Instagram at 1313_podcast. I have no idea if that's actually our tag.
Just look it up, and if
Yeah,
you see
it is.
if you see Coruscant with 1313 on it, just give us a follow.
But yeah.
getting back to my story.
Oh, you're
She
telling a
did that.
story?
She did that, and then Justin Leach from the Visions panel followed us, and like I was like literally freaking out, and then it was like it was exciting as well to see him on the panel and be like, that's like the dude that like followed us and like liked our stuff as well.
There he is.
It's
my favorite white boy.
It's the guy.
It's him! No, I was like, because I looked at his profile and I saw he had different animes in his profile, and then coming Star Wars Visions. I was like, because he didn't say in his profile or anything on there that he was like an executive. So I was looking at it and I was like, well, it says he's a owner of a production company, and they have one show on Netflix right now that's an anime, and I'm sorry, I just can't remember the name right now. You know what? No, I'm gonna do my due diligence and I'm gonna look it up. Just
So in the meantime, while he's doing his...
It's called Eden. The show is called Eden. It's on Netflix, and it was put out by his production company that he owns that basically produces anime in the States.
Yeah.
So go check out Eden on Netflix for my man Justin.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, shout out to that. It was super, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have interactions with people from Lucasfilm.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome. But, you know, I mean,
made me happy, made me
there's...
smile.
But yeah, I think that about wraps it up. What do you guys think?
I think that's about it for this episode.
Yeah.
And unless there's something mind-boggling and outrageous within the Black Series community, I think we should step away from talking about Black Series for one episode, and we should maybe talk about Star Wars.
I agree.
As Star Wars. What do you
I
mean
agree.
no? What do you mean
We're gonna, either way,
No,
we're gonna
no.
end up ranting about the Black Series. You know it's
Well,
gonna
we're
happen.
Always
it's
talk
gonna
about the
happen.
Black Series.
How about we talk about, let's say, the prequels next time.
Well, let's talk about...
Star Wars.
We'll come up with a topic. How about
You know what?
that?
Let's figure out what we want to do for our podcast while we record the podcast.
Yes. No, yeah.
No.
No, yeah. We'll sit down and then we'll be like, so what are we talking about today?
So, yeah, be sure to share our podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at 1313_podcast. We do a lot of posting throughout the week with a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff, and that's where you can really interact with us the most. Also, feel free to comment on YouTube. That's where we have a video, which, by the way, we finally got a real camcorder.
Yes.
Thank goodness.
And it
it's
is
gonna make editing
amazing.
so much easier, because
So-
I didn't know that DSLR cameras had a video cap that it would only record up to 15 minutes and then it would cut out. That is why the video has been so crummy. I apologize sincerely, especially that last episode. That last half of the video, the audio didn't sync up. It was atrocious. I'm very sorry.
But yeah, if you want to watch this with video, you can check us out on YouTube. But we're also on Spotify. We're on Radio Casts, Pocket Casts.
Google.
Google Podcast.
Google Podcasts.
Are we on Apple yet?
No. Still waiting.
We'll never be on
sucks.
Apple.
We'll never be on Apple at this point. Apple sucks.
It takes like 2.5 weeks, bro.
Whatever.
Just get Spotify.
Lame.
Lame.
The majority of our audience listens to us on Spotify and Anchor anyway.
Yeah.
We're also on Anchor. That's our host.
That's our host.
So shout out to Anchor.
Yes.
Shouts out to Anchor.
And,
They're owned by Spotify, so shouts out to Spotify.
Feel free to follow us. Feel free to interact with us, and feel free to share.
Yeah, we only got 2 comments on that last video, and I like talking to you guys. So, leave a comment.
And if you DM, we'll always
Do it now.
Do it! Leave a comment! Okay. I think that wraps it up for this episode. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.